to Strange Minds 6. I'm your host, Ruby, and today we're going to be getting back into the book The Octunnumi by Trevor Allen Forrest. But before we begin, I wanted to say if you hear any noise in the background, please don't mind that. I have both of my dogs here. The younger one, the puppy, is pretty much chewing on one of his chew toys. So if you hear that, I do apologize. But let's begin. I want to ask if you can please hit that like button if you are enjoying the story, and definitely comment down below what parts you like so far and if you would recommend this book to others. But without further ado, this is The Octunnumi by Trevor Allen Forrest. Grab your snack, grab your drinks, or sit back and relax, and let's get to it. Delegates, envoys, and ambassadors had been arriving from various instruments all week, the royals being the last to make the trip. Some, however, had arrived much earlier, the Prince Regent being one in fact. The Prince Regent had almost taken up permanent residence at the Octunnumi. Though not unwelcome, his presence did have its challenges. Namely, he was really disliked by just about everyone. As he surveys the wrecked room, Theos glances back at Smythe, who, having met him in the hallway, was more than a little reluctant to re-enter the room, and so remained at the open door. "Smith," Theos sighs. "Pull yourself together. Get in here and close the door." "Yes, sir," relieved that Theos was here and he no longer had to deal with the situation alone. Smythe could not muster the energy to correct Theos on his name. "And sir," he says, in reply to his boss's question, "if by new you mean have I had to deal with a situation like this before, sir?" He shivers slightly. "Then yes, sir. I am very new." "Hooah," Theos mutters, looking back at the chaos. I did what you asked, sir," Smythe stammers. "Keep him company, you said. Don't, under any circumstances, let any of the other degeneratories know he was here. Make sure he used his cover name, Hua." "And I did, sir. I did, but," Smythe blushes before whispering, "he was so insistent." "Sir, I had no idea." "Right," Theos replies. "He licks my face, sir," Smythe blurts out. Theos nods, suppressing a smile as he walks into the room. "Where is he now?" he asks, picking up chairs and tables as he maneuvers his way around the room. Smythe is standing steadfast at the door, hand firmly on the handle, ready to run at any moment. "He's not gonna hurt you, Smith," Theos says, glancing back at the distressed Smythe. "He just gets..." He pauses to find the words, "a little emotional." "He said I was precious," Smythe exclaims, stifling a laugh. Theos quickly turns away from Smythe, just as Mansfield emerges from double doors to the left of the suite. Greeting his friends with a warm handshake, Mansfield smiles. I see Smythe here found you then. Smith. Theos replies, yes, he did. Sorry, Mansfield shrugs. Didn't really know what else to do. Bit out of my comfort zone. Oh, I know, Mansfield chuckles. He can get a little touchy. He smiles, but he's a sweetie at heart. In all the years Theos had known the Prince Regent, the words a little tetchy and sweetie had not been used in the same chapter, let alone the same sentence when referring to the said prince. A curse bringer, bearer of doom, instigator of terrible things. Good of you to put us up in such great rooms, though, Mansfield interrupts. Theos thoughts. Then, looking at the devastation, says, yes, well, I'll have this cleaned up in a jiffy. I've tried waking him, he continues, inclining his head to the doors he had just come through. But he's not having any of it. Even the promise of a back rub didn't budge him. Shaking out a bag, Mansfield begins to fill it with the streamers and burst balloons littering the floor. Back rub? Just being in the same room was supposed to bring bad luck. Who knew what touching him would bring? A swipe to the face, more than likely. Looking back at Smythe, Theos gestures him to follow. With some hesitation, he moves swiftly to Theos, hovering behind him as he opens the doors to the room beyond, disturbing what had been the contents of several beanbags in the process. The tiny flicks of white rise up in a flurry, the effects being of light snow as they settle. His eyes travel to the huge circular bed beneath the mirrored ceiling, slowly turning at the strands of Johnny Mitchell float through the air. Never, Theos says in a lowered voice, speak of this. Smythe remains rigid, unable to speak. The most royal Prince Regent, although unpopular, has been regarded throughout the lands since time began as the most superior higher being, having been worshipped by gods and immortalized in everything from paper to gold. Now he sits cross-legged in the center of the circular bed, his ebony fur a multitude of color as it reflects the lava lamps placed around its base, his outstretched paws upturned and resting on his haunches, eyes part closed. A gentle purring vibrates across his lips, emitting a gentle Theos had never considered whether panthers practiced the art of meditation or how they would look if indeed they did. But if the thought should ever cross his mind in the future, well, now he knew. And Smith, for future reference, yes, sir, no catnip. And that, my dear friends, is the end of one chapter. I know it's short, but I do hope that you enjoyed it. And definitely tune in next time. And please hit that like button and comment down below. This has been Ruby, signing off.